It's really not. It's not a happy time for your hot cocoa for Christmas. No. Cocoa prices, like all agriculture, cocoa is completely dependent on weather. Cocoa, though, is a bit unique in that most of it is grown in a very specific region of West Africa. Basically, you've got Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire, and that they produce between the two of them, I think about 70 or 80% of the world's cocoa, depending on the year. And so when you've got bad weather there, which you had very hot, dry weather 2 years in a row, that impacts prices tremendously, and that's what you saw happen. Right now, I wouldn't touch cocoa at all because it's just keeps making new highs, and it's completely dependent upon whether or not they get proper weather this coming growing season. They've had 2 bad years in a row. If they get a third, there's no telling where the top is. If the weather evens out, these prices will come off pretty hard pretty quickly.
Wow, candy bars then. Okay, I'm just thinking about those. What about coffee, Sal?
Coffee had a tough year in that in basically Vietnam had some problems. Brazil had some problems, and again, same thing. They started out hot and dry, then they got too much rain during harvest. That's exactly what happened to the cocoa markets, and you had issues there. Coffee, though, I think it's leveling off. Starbucks strike, will probably hurt demand. So you never know. That might put a dent in coffee prices. Coffee weather seems to be straightening out. The weather in the producing areas is key again, and it seems like it'll be fine. Coffee should find its way lower in 2025, I would think.
And while we're talking about hot chocolate and Starbucks and coffee, etc., sugar. How are sugar prices shaping up?
Sugar, again, had a tough time. Exact same thing in India and Indonesia. They had tough times. But sugar's interesting. When there's a global imbalance one way or another, sugar prices follow. So last season, you had a global imbalance in that not enough supply and a little bit more demand than supply. This season, suddenly the projections are turning. We're going to have a little bit more supply than demand. You see sugar prices coming off. I would think if the weather holds, sugar will level out here. And again, it's like any ag, it's completely dependent upon the weather.